Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of the podcast through a trauma-informed lens. And I am continuing today with our mini-series called Create Your Embodied Thriving and Sacred Business, a mini-series created to help you to shift your mindset, to shift your identity, to shift the level of your connection with yourself within the context of your business and your life. You've heard me say that before. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard me say that before, that there isn't a real separation between business and life. Yes, you need to have boundaries. For when you are working with your clients, when you are accessible to your clients, how you work with your clients and your students, how you're supporting them, what your role is and responsibilities are, what the role of your client is, and their responsibilities within the context of your work and that work relationship. But really, ultimately, business is our business, especially if you had led entrepreneur, if you're self-employed, if you run your business like myself, and the wonderful practitioners that I support, especially the female practitioners in my training certifications, then your business becomes an expression of your passion, an expression of your soul's calling, an expression of what's most important in your life, an expression and a continuation of your core values. Like, what's the most important thing in this life and in your work that you want to do, how you want to support others, how you want to build those relationships within the context of your work and the impact within your community and the world. So for me, business and life are really, really, really together. Your business needs to support your life. This is the system. Like, if you've done any trainings with me or followed me, I talk about systems thinking. For me, this is the only thing that really makes sense. Everything is interconnected. Your business and life are within one system. Your business is within, the system of life and your life and life itself. So that's the sacredness, that's the soul connection and the sacredness. You could call it spiritual, but again, that implies that spiritual is somehow separate, and it is not. Everything is interconnected, everything impacts everything else. That's true for your personal life, personal relationships, and your business relationships. Once we understand that, that really shifts how we approach everything. And today, especially, I want to talk about something that comes up in relationship to that. And that is, how do you move from self-doubt? How do you move from this space of feeling like you are not sure, feeling confused, feeling overwhelmed, and really doubting yourself, doubting your skills, doubting your abilities, doubting your work, doubting your vision or the direction that you are going in, doubting your specialists or expertise, doubting that anybody is interested, anybody cares, that people will benefit from what you are doing. How do you move from this state of being in self-doubt into a deep sense of self-trust and trusting in life? Because that's the two kind of polarities in here. This is what we want to move to, for me at least, and from my experience of mentoring and coaching practitioners for the last 20 years. The opposite of self-doubt is a deep sense of self-trust. But how do we move to it? How do we shift from this very unresourced and unresourceful, uninspired, stuck, space into the state of flow, of connection, of exploration, of creativity, of following the breadcrumbs, those energetic breadcrumbs. How do we co-create with the universe and life? How do we embrace what's coming? So I want to share a few things with you, and that is really coming back to, the nervous system regulation and the understanding of the different states within the nervous system and the physiology. And this is something that I teach in my trauma-informed somatic teacher and coach for women training certification. This is, once you get that, and you really, not only on the mind level, but you do the practices and you start showing up for yourself in a different way, building relationship with yourself in a different way, then that really becomes an embodied wisdom, and it shifts how you run your business. And so for me, it's coming back to the polyvagal theory and to really understanding the nervous system and physiology. So if I think about self-doubt, yes, there is loads of thinking around it. There is stories that we are telling ourselves, usually about nobody cares, and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed, I can't do this. This is when we look through the lens of nervous system and physiology as well. It's a state that is very stuck. It's a state that is very shut down. It's a you either are in the freeze or there's a lot of energy, but you are stuck and you cannot move it. So there is a lot of anxiety, there is a lot of overwhelm, there is a lot of bracing, but the energy is not going anywhere. Or you go into a complete state of shutdown where you just crash, everything is in collapse, your energy. These are not the states that inspire proactive action taking, inspire to share your love, share your beliefs, share your work, where you show up and say, this is amazing, I love this. It made huge life-changing difference to me, and it's, my clients really love it. And I want to share it with you. Can you see how different those two states are? And the polyvagal theory says really lovely, in a very good, clear way, rather than lovely, that the state creates the story. The state, nervous system state and physiological state, creates the story. What I say to myself, about my ability, about other people, about the world. And so when we understand that this is what happens, then rather than trying to force ourselves doing affirmations or forcing ourselves to say something different to ourselves, and then it's being hit with the resistance, because of course there are parts of us that are saying, but I don't believe this is not right, this is not true. We create more conflict within ourselves. Instead of trying to do it through the mind or just through the mind, if we come back to the physiology and the nervous system, working on that first, for us to come out of this shutdown or come out of the freeze into more flow, into more ability to be present. So initially into more of that sympathetic response, where I can do this. Maybe I'm still in this, I must do this, I can do this, and I must do this. This is how it's done. And then slowly working towards bringing more nervous system regulation, the sense of safety, stability, connection, trusting in life, trusting in myself, trusting that I can work it out. Like I might want to do something, but I don't know how to do it. but I trust that I can work it out. I trust that I can ask for support. I trust that if I really want it to happen, I can do my best to make it happen and be open to synchronicities and coincidences and people coming my way that will help me, that I can work it out and I can do it at my own pace. I don't have to hustle. I don't have to rush. I can just connect through my heart, through my soul, through my sense of feeling safe enough, and do it in my own way. Do it in my own way. And so when we understand that, then in doing things on a daily basis that help us reconnect with, on the physiological and nervous system state, with the sense of being in the present moment, playfulness, exploration, letting go of perfectionism, letting go of what I must do because everybody else is doing it in this kind of way, but thinking about, what do I like doing? Maybe I could play with that. Just because everybody's doing reels doesn't mean that you have to do reels. You might want to play with it. You might want to try it and see how it goes. And, but if you don't like it, there are other ways to promote and market your business. And so really, allowing yourself to connect with what's true for you and start with changing your inner state from, being in a shutdown or being in a freeze state or being in this sympathetic activation of I must. This is what I have to do and I can't do it and it doesn't align, and hustling, pushing, trying to squeeze yourself into some kind of shape that is not right for you. Either it's not right now or it will not be right ever. Sometimes we try to go too fast. Sometimes we try to do things that are just not aligned with how we are. They just don't work for us. And that's okay. That's okay. There are hundreds of ways to run your business and make it successful. And so really moving into this sense of, I want to try this. I am going to work and prioritize taking care of myself and my needs. I am going to take action in a way that really shows that I am prioritizing taking care of myself. I'm going to prioritize reconnecting with my soul's calling, reconnecting with sacredness and beauty of life, reconnecting in this moment to what's true for me. And from then, I'm going to create things. From then, I'm going to connect with others. I'm going to prioritize a sense of being and embodying certain qualities, and then make decisions in my business. That's how you create a deep sense of self-trust. That's how you are able to move from self-doubt to deep sense of trust. What I see when I work with beautiful, wonderful female practitioners who are doing amazing work in their communities and the world is this trying to second guess, comparing themselves to other people, other women or other practitioners. It's like they doing it like this, I'm not doing it like this, I must do it like them, and then feeling like, but I can't do it like this, and then crashing, working really hard, exhausting themselves, and really then crashing. And so ultimately, you let go of self-doubt and you move into deep sense of trust when you acknowledge what's true for you, when you prioritize your self-care, when you define what's the definition of success for you, and you work towards creating it within your life, when you grow your business from that perspective of, this is what I want. Doesn't matter that everybody around me wants something else. This is what I want. And I trust that above everything else. Like, I'm willing to play, I'm willing to experiment, I'm willing to try other things. But if they don't work, I'm not going to make myself feel bad about this, that there is something wrong with me. I'm just going to acknowledge that this particular thing, this particular strategy, this particular approach just doesn't work for me in this way. Maybe there is another way, like I need to collaborate with somebody, or, bring somebody else to do this piece of work for me. Maybe I can do this because I still want to do this, but in my own way. Maybe I can do it at a different pace and rhythm. Like, for example, so a couple of examples from my business, if I think about this, like, I love doing this podcast, but I don't want to do the admin behind it, like editing or, preparing it and releasing it and uploading it. And that, I don't want to do that. And that was stopping me. It stopped me for a couple of years from really doing this podcast. And it was this acknowledgement of, I really want to do it. I'm really excited about it. It really feels aligned. But there is an element of it that is stopping me, and acknowledging, okay, I need to bring my VA to do that. And then I can just focus on what I love. And the other bit is being done by somebody else who knows what they're doing, who does it really well. And so this energy, there is a different way of doing it. The other thing in here is, just really understanding about our own rhythm. Like, I see a lot of practitioners doing, for example, daily live streams, whether it's in the Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook Live. In Facebook, I used to do that years ago, but now when I'm delivering lots of live trainings online, I do not feel like I have capacity to do that. And so I'm shifting more into doing podcasts because I love it, and doing more pre-recorded videos, really approaching it in a different way where I still do it and I can still share my love and my passion and my joy around my work and connect with my community and connect with others, but I don't have to do it the way that other people are doing it. Can you see? That comes from my sense of deep trust in trusting in what's right for me, and also trusting that it's not all down to me. Like, what's down to me is my nervous system regulation, my energetic work, my connection with my soul, the actions that I take, who I, where I show up, and, there is strategy around that. And the other stuff of who connects with it, who resonates with it, who comes to work with me, I don't control that. And so I don't try to control that. I trust that all the other stuff will be done by this beautiful energy of life. The other people will connect energetically with me when it's right for them. I don't have to control that. I trust that's not my job. That's not my role. I cannot control that. So I'm not going to try it. So when you move from self-doubt to deep sense of self-trust, it's self-trust in who you are, self-trust in what's true for you, self-trust in that you can learn, that you can show up, and also trust in something greater than yourself. That is the source of this soul's calling. Like, I really want to share that. I really believe in this. I love this. I don't need to convince you. I just want to share how amazing that is. And if you want some of this, let's connect. That's how I approach, for example, when I talk about my marketing, sharing my message around the trauma-informed somatic teacher and coach for women training certification. This is the essence of it. This is what I teach also in the Embodied Business Mandala 1-year mentorship and mastermind circle. When we bring all of those things together, we move from this external, what shall I do? Everybody's doing this. What shall I do? I have to control it. Into this internal of doing it with a sense of joy, with a sense of deep peace, that sense of deep connection, that sense of ultimately what we're talking about, this sense of love, a sense of creation. We move from that space and we make decisions from that space. And when we do that, it shifts our identity. It helps us grow. It helps us heal. It takes us on a path that we enjoy. Yes, there might be challenges, but we follow those energetic breadcrumbs. And we create something that we love. We grow a business that is thriving, sustainable, embodied with our wisdom, with our truth, with our soul, and it becomes sacred. So I hope this is helpful to you. Take a little bit of time, journal around it, decide what it is that makes it true for you. What did you resonate with today? Stay with it. Reconnect with it on a daily basis. Be flexible and fluid with your sense of reconnection and see how your business grows. And if you want more support, the Embodied Business Mandala 1-year mentorship and mastermind circle is open again. It's open till the middle of July to sign up now, and then it will be open again to start in September. So take what resonates, work with it, and I wish you a really wonderful day.